Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. I'm here with this Lexus. It is a ES300 2003 model. It has an error code P0171 and P0174. That means it's running lean on bank 1 and bank 2. It says it has two codes in the DTC. Read codes, baby. It says it's got 4 codes. Lean bank 2. Lean bank 1. Lean bank 2. So it's running lean. Something's loose or fuel pump's failing. Most people think O2 sensors, and I initially thought it may have been the fuel pump. When I test drove the car had serious hesitations in passing gear speeds. It actually felt like the transmission was slipping, but I think it was the car not producing the right power, so it wasn't shifting the transmission right. You know, these computers are complicated. Anyway, car not running right, and even though it had a full tank of gas, it was giving me an estimate of a range of like 235 miles to empty. You know, when you're getting that bad at fuel mileage, you got a problem with it running rich or lean. So first thing I did was I asked the owner when the last time they had a tune-up. Second thing I did was came in here and looked for some kind of vacuum leak or intake leak, and I found this hose right there torn open. Now from your air filter box, you have your MAP or mass airflow sensor. Then that pipe goes into your intake system. This air chamber between this sensor or this filter and your intake system, the air flow and pressure is monitored by this sensor. If you have air leakage in there, it'll cause problems. Running rich, running lean, or if you got a bad sensor and it's not sending the right reading, it could cause those kind of problems. No, normally if the sensor's locked up, it'll throw a code for the sensor. That didn't happen here. Running rich, running lean. I checked other vacuum lines, they look good, but that's the only opening I could find. So the owner went and picked up this hose from, I believe, AutoZone. That's the part number, stuff like that. Anytime an auto parts store has these in stock, this is happening a lot. Of course, this engine that is a Toyota engine Lexus shares. It's a very common engine in their Lexus cars, Toyota Camrys, Toyota minivans, whatnot, and a lot of them use those hoses. So this is what I got out of the box. I'm going to go ahead and replace this so you can see how that's done. The hose is pretty short. It doesn't have a lot of movement in it. This compartment's kind of tight. Now, first thing you want to do is look at the orientation of the hose that's on there. You got this little nipple on this plastic housing. It's got a little notch in it. That notch should be lined up with the hose. Back here, there's a tip on the hose back there. So you want to put your new hose on orientated just like that. Next, you want to get this air box top away from that so that you can get this hose out of here. It's not a long hose, so you don't have a lot of space to move. So what I'm going to do is take the air box top loose as if I was going to be changing the air filter in there, and being careful not to rough up anything. See, you got a little sensor on here, maybe a purge valve, connector there, little hose there. You got a little hose. Oh, this is actually broken over here. I don't know if that would be a problem or not, but so this is broken. This is going to need a new air filter top in order to get that fixed. And this is the kind of stuff you want to be careful you don't break and rough up when you're in here working on this stuff. I don't know who did that. Somebody might have leaned on it, broke it, maybe done it even replacing a battery at one point. So you could pull these vacuum nipples off like that to avoid roughing those up or breaking them, and then replace that hose there. I pulled that one off. I'm gonna try to push these next two off over here. Use a screwdriver or something. You could pull this cover up and out of the way. It has a couple of Allen screws. Take this cover out of the way so you can reach that stuff. And then we're going to pull a 10mm bolt out here, 10mm bolt out here. Take this 10mm loose here, that 10mm loose there. Shift this over a little bit, get that hose out, put the replacement hose on, and put this stuff back together. So pull these vacuum hoses off of this thing, maybe unplug this. You know, you just want to not put too much tension on anything. You can leave this stuff plugged up or you can unplug it. It's up to you. Just don't break nothing. I took these 3 cover bolts loose, 5mm hex. That lifts up. Put hands on either side, work it up and over. It's got clips on the bottom there that clip on to the fuel rail or something. This little fuel rail brackets, so you can get that off of there. And the bolts will fall out if you turn it upside down. I gotta find those. Next, I'm unplugging these vacuum lines from this air box. The yellow one, painted yellow, so you know where that goes. And you just don't want to break anything. I got those disconnected from there. I may be able to leave this stuff on the back, have enough movement in these 2 wire connectors. Shouldn't need to disconnect those, but it's clipped. The wire connectors are clipped in there, but you can go ahead and remove those. Just squeeze the tab, pull the plugs off. So if you move this over, you're not stressing those wires or breaking those connectors. Next thing I did was I unscrewed that 10mm from that corner. I did the same for that 10mm on that corner. Now these are supposed to stay put, clipped in here like this. Then I took that 10mm loose, that 10mm loose. I lifted the air filter box up a little bit, pivoted it this way, and when I did that, that screw on the backside fell out. So you may want to grab these and unplug them so you don't lose them, because I got one that I need to find now. And when I unplugged it, it pulled out of this part of the hose. Then I pulled that part of the hose out. So now I'm going to take these clamps and transfer them onto this new hose here. You also want to check your air filter while you're in here. Pull the air filter out and make sure that the underside of it is clean and doesn't need to be replaced. And then you can start putting this stuff back together. So let me get my magnet, find that screw I lost, and then work on getting this back together. So this air filter is dirty. I don't know if it's dirty enough to clean or not. This is a reusable, cleanable can-in filter. So that can probably be cleaned and reused. Some people prefer the regular paper filters. Some people like these because they're cleanable and reusable. It's supposed to give you better airflow. However, if you over oil them, they can saturate your MAP or mass airflow sensor. So let's see if that sensor is hanging down in there, and you could clean those as well. Yeah, that's hanging down more like a mass airflow sensor would. That can be cleaned if you want. Some people like leaving them alone. I banged the filter on the ground a few times. It looks pretty decent in the sunlight, but it looks okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in there and put this new hose on, screw the filter box on, hook up these vacuum lines, and take it for a test drive. Now while you have this out, you can make sure that these hoses under this cover look good and you don't see anything broken or damaged down under there as well. Now we place the airbox top back onto the lower part of the airbox top after putting the filter in place. Now this passenger side of this airbox top has clips that latch into the lower part. One of those was damaged on this one. Then you make sure you maneuver the top of the box properly on the lower part of the box. You screw those clamps on with the new hose. You screw the top of the box down to the lower part, and I noticed that this washer kind of locks under a groove on the top box, so those really shouldn't fall out. So I had to reinsert those so that they were under that little recess on the top of the box. Screwed those down and tightened those down on both sides. So that's how that's supposed to look. And I connected the vacuum lines properly to it. Now I'm ready to put that engine cover back on. So I put the three, I think they're 5mm hexes in all three positions there on this engine cover. Lock that in place. That's the little piece that I found for that. Then I went in and reset the codes, started the engine, and then scanned it for codes. No codes. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.